We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, coming at you live in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, on top of some mountain that Angela made me just climb.
Baba!
Nah? Okay, so you guys check this out. Our awesome helpers created a path into the mountain behind our house. It's like a nature extraordinaire path. And so here we were climbing and going around it. I couldn't believe how much they did in just 2 months. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And we must have went like, it must be like a mile or more. So then Angela decides that she didn't want to go back down because it was like there's certain parts where it was straight back down and she doesn't like to do that sort of thing. So she decided to climb the entire mountain through the shrubbery, the wild, to the hiking path that's like miles and miles. We climbed like 2-3 mountains for the last 2 hours, and we finally made it to this path through spiky plants and animals and all sorts of crazy things. So here we are, walking the path. We'll probably be home in an hour and a half now. And what time is it, babe?
I would think it's past 4 by now.
It's past 4 p.m., everybody. And guess what? I haven't eaten once today. Where do I get my protein from? Well, I know where I don't get my protein from. I can't even think about energy right now because it will just zap me. I have so much energy, I can probably double what I just did.
You mean you can't think about eating?
I can't think about eating, no. I haven't even eaten today. I had 1 coconut water in the morning, and that's it. Nah? So, what's this whole thing about calories and... I don't know, babe. I could go running right now.
Maybe we'll run home from here.
This whole health field is mixed up and upside down, left, side, right. Not health field, the mainstream field. You need a lot less than you think.
And the universe gave us a gift.
What was that?
When we got all the way over all of the hills and we got to this path, it gave us a magician's hat. See?
Woo!
With some kind of star formation on it. A big blue hat.
Me?
It's very nice because I was feeling quite sad about something this morning and then it gave us this hat
Oh.
to make everything nice again.
The longer you've been on a cleaner diet, the cleaner you become, the more you detox, the cleaner you become, the more efficient your body becomes, and the less food you require to maintain high energy levels. Maybe I should say that again.
Yeah.
The longer you've been on a cleaner diet, the more you detox. The more you detox, the more cleaner you become. The more cleaner you become, the more efficient your body becomes. The more efficient your body becomes, the less food you need to require high energy levels. That's right, everybody. 1 coconut water, 3 mountains, 3 hours, straight uphill nonstop. And we'll see you in a bit. Jibba does it. Woo! Come on down, Vilcabamba, Ecuador. So here we are in the kitchen. What we're going to do in a future video soon is Angela is going to be showing you some new carob concoctions. Maybe Gila can explain how she's been loving carob lately, but first...
Yeah, I seem to be on some kind of carob kick, and I don't know why. It hasn't happened for many years. When I was at university in Edinburgh in Scotland, and that's when I first learnt about carob. And I remember standing in a health food store in Edinburgh, which is a rare sight, I can tell you. In Edinburgh, everything's deep fried. And I was in this tiny little health food store, and I saw this child. His mum was buying a like carob chocolate bar, like a carob bar for him. And I remember looking at him and just feeling so sorry for him, like, oh, God, he can't have like real sweets, you know, like real candy. She's just buying him this ridiculous carob thing. But right now, for some reason, I'm on a ridiculous carob trip and I can't get enough of it. There must be something in here that my body really wants. So I have like this whole jar of it here.
It's a chocolatey taste, and she doesn't do good with chocolate, so she's eating carob. And it's kind of interesting because there's like three women here that asked us to bring carob back down here to Vilcabamba, Ecuador.
Yeah, there's some kind of carob vibe going on with Vilcabamba women right now. Iron and potassium and I don't even know what else is in here. Calcium, very rich nutrient profile and yummy. So we're going to show you some recipes someday soon of what you could do with carob.
Can you put it on your bum?
Baba.
All right, everybody. So let's go back to this whole concept of needing very little food. As I was hiking and hadn't eaten all day. So I was hanging around with one of my friends. We were driving around. It was first thing in the morning. We had just woken up. We went and got some coconuts or did whatever. And he had mentioned earlier that he likes to go to the gym and wanted to go to the gym today. So I said early in the morning, I'm like, how about we go right now? And he said, oh man, I can't go right now. I got to go home and eat so I could get some energy. I was like, wow. I was thinking the opposite. If I were to go home and eat, it would zap my energy and I wouldn't be able to go and work out as effectively as if I didn't. What does this mean? He probably has a bit of excess toxicity in his body to where the food is going to, stop the detoxification. So when we wake up in the morning and we're like cleansing like crazy and whatever, what I do is I just drink 32 ounces of water and I just flush that out and I have energy all day long. Most people, they have toxicity in their body. They might take a coffee to stimulate themselves to get that energy, or they'll eat to break the fast from not eating for a little bit of time. But in essence, the cleaner you become, the less food you require, as I mentioned earlier. So maybe Gila can give us her experience.
Yeah, it totally makes sense to me that people wake up in the mornings, especially on standard American diet kind of thing, and they just want to eat immediately. I know that that's how I was when I was in that lifestyle. I can remember at one point, I was in Scotland again, and everything seems to be about Scotland today. I was training with this woman who was one of the most incredible people I've ever met. She was an animal healer. And I went to work with her at a point when I'd been into raw foods for a few months, but I was still very much in like a strong emotional relationship with food. And when I got up in the morning, it was like pretty much the first thing I was doing was getting into the kitchen and eating. And I remember being with this woman there, this healer, who was just this fireball of energy, this tiny little woman. She was no raw foodist or anything. She was just very in tune with nature and very dynamic energy. And I remember her looking at my patterns and remarking on how strange they were. I remember saying to her, well, I need to eat now at like 7 in the morning or something so that I can come out with you to work with the horses. And she was looking at me like I was crazy. And she was saying, well, I've been up since 6 or whatever, and I've been out working with the horses since then. And I do all of these things so that I, get to the point where I'm ready to eat something rather than the other way around. She was like, don't you think that's kind of interesting? Because, at that point I was still in this huge body, and there she was, this tiny little dynamo of energy, and she was basically telling me, you don't need to be stuffing yourself with food the second you get up in the morning. From a physiological point of view, I'm sure that's what felt the most comfortable for me at that point, because I was detoxing heavily, and also from a psychological point of view, that's what I was used to. And with that kind of strong emotional connection to food, it was like, as soon as I woke up in the morning, it was like, you know, I wanted to start. I'd been asleep for all those hours. I hadn't been eating for all those hours. You know, I wanted to start getting stuff into my body. But these days, like he was just saying, it's completely different. You know, water is the first thing that goes into our bodies in the mornings. And then, you know, we move on to juice after that, and then maybe it gets to a smoothie, and it's a slow progression through the day. You know, maybe some fruits, It's not, instead of waking up in the morning like I was at that point, you know, or a few years before then, and having like 2 rounds of fried bacon and egg sandwiches on like white bread with margarine and ketchup, and, you know, bang, first thing in the morning. That's what I was doing, getting straight into the kitchen and frying up all of that stuff, probably in lard, you know. I mean, the most extreme, disgusting, gunky stuff going straight into my body first thing in the morning to keep that level of toxicity where it was, because I didn't want to go into the detox.
Who do we got there?
Angela Stokes Monarch.
And who do we got coming up over here?
Sherry and Bobby.
Barbie doll! It's too dark for everybody to see, but we see you.
We love you.
We love them so much. And Matt Monarch, putting my bum in carrot powder.
Papa!
And we'll see you again tomorrow at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.